guys, welcome back to the Oilers Fanatic. Today, I'm going to begin a series of trade proposal videos that will look at potential targets for the Edmonton Oilers and how I think a trade could possibly work to acquire them. My plan is to cover 3 trades in each video, but today will be a special exception due to some breaking news. Ryan Rishaug of TSN and Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet are reporting that Jake Debrusk has asked for a trade out of Boston. No trade is imminent though at this point. We know that the Oilers have had interest in Debrusk in the past, but it's unknown if that interest still remains. Debrusk is an RFA at season's end, has a cap hit of $3.675 million, and would slot in on left wing. Due to the size of his cap hit, this would have to be a money in, money out deal for the Oilers. Zach Kassian is the only return I can think of that makes sense money-wise. Kassian has the $3.2 million cap hit that would allow the Oilers to fit Debrusk in. If the Oilers did Debrusk for Kassian, the Oilers lineup could look like this. A top line of Hyman, McDavid, Puljujarvi, a second line of RNH, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto, a third line of Jake Debrusk, Ryan McLeod, and Warren Foegele, and a fourth line of Tyler Benson, Derek Ryan, and Kyle Turris. Warren Foegele can play the right or left side, so he could slide over to give Debrusk left wing, taking Kassian's old spot on right wing. Other than that, I just don't see a realistic trade that the Oilers could make work at this time. And this all assumes that Boston is interested in Kassian. Have to see what happens, but I have a feeling Edmonton won't be Debrusk's landing spot. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will do my absolute best to keep you up to date with all the latest Oilers content and game reviews. Now, back to the trades. First up, Marc-Andre Fleury. To the Edmonton Oilers, Marc-Andre Fleury, carrying a $7 million cap hit. To the Chicago Blackhawks, the Edmonton Oilers 2022 first-round draft pick, Mikko Koskinen, carrying a $4.5 million cap hit, and Kyle Turris, carrying a $1,650,000 cap hit, with a combined total cap hit of $6,150,000. Fleury struggled to begin his time in Chicago, but has surged as of late and looks to be regaining his old form. He's a Stanley Cup winner, and he knows what it takes. Fleury would only be a rental for the Oilers, unless his future asking price comes down significantly, but he would be an amazing acquisition. I'm not sure if Holland gives up his first-round pick for a goalie that would only be a rental, but he could end up making all the difference. Colton Sevier, Cooper Marody, and potentially even Dylan Holloway gives the Oilers lots of depth to replace Turris, and a 1-2 punch of Fleury and Mike Smith in goal would be the best tandem the Oilers have had in years. Skinner is also still around if there are questions about Smith. Chicago has played better as of late, but unless they go on a stellar run, I think they still end up being sellers come trade deadline. They get a first-round pick out of this deal and take back 2 expiring contracts, so I think it works for them. Next up, Troy Stetcher. To the Edmonton Oilers, Troy Stetcher, carrying a $1,700,000 cap hit. To the Detroit Red Wings, Edmonton's 2022 6th-round draft pick. Defensive depth is key come playoff time, and Troy Stetcher could provide that for the Oilers, slotting in on the right side as depth behind Evan Bouchard, Cody Ceci, and Tyson Barrie. Like Chicago, Detroit is having a decent year, but I still think they are looking to collect draft picks at the trade deadline. It may take a slightly higher pick than 6th to pry Stetcher out of Detroit. It will depend on how crazy the asking prices are going by then. Next up, Phil Kessel and Travis Boyd. This one is a multiplayer deal. To the Edmonton Oilers, Phil Kessel, carrying a $6,800,000 cap hit. In this deal, Arizona would retain 25% of his salary, which comes to $1,700,000, so there would be a total of $5,100,000 going to the Edmonton Oilers in this trade. Also in the trade, Travis Boyd with a $750,000 cap hit. The total cap hit the Oilers are taking back, $5,850,000. To the Arizona Coyotes, Edmonton's 2022 first-round draft pick, Tyler Benson with a $750,000 cap hit, Zack Kassian with a $3,200,000 cap hit, Kyle Turris with a $1.65 million cap hit, for a combined total cap hit of $5,600,000. I don't think I'd want Phil Kessel if he had any term left on his deal, but on an expiring contract, I'm interested. He's not off to a stellar start so far, 3 goals and 8 assists for 11 points in 21 games, but he did still pick up 20 goals last year in a shortened season. Playing with more elite players should help his totals. He brings Stanley Cup experience and gives the Oilers another strong top 6 threat. Travis Boyd is having a strong season so far for the Arizona Coyotes, playing up in their lineup and collecting 5 goals and 3 assists for 8 points in 14 games and is a +1. His cheap cap hit of $750K would give the Oilers great depth at a great price. He could play center or right wing on the 3rd or 4th line. Again, the point must be made. Does Ken Holland give up a first-round pick for 2 rental players? Though they could afford to re-sign Boyd if he pans out. The addition of Boyd gives the Oilers a strong option for the bottom 6, with Kyle Turris and Tyler Benson leaving in the deal. Also, the Oilers are heading into the playoffs. Do they want to give up Zack Kassian? I included Kassian in this deal for 2 reasons. Number 1, to make the money work, and number 2, to give the Oilers cap space down the road. The Oilers could target cheaper options that bring toughness, but there's no doubt if Kassian is on his game, he would be deeply missed. This deal gives the rebuilding Coyotes another first-round pick, a prospect in Tyler Benson that they have shown interest in, and a top 9 forward in Kassian with size and skill who only has 2 years left on his contract. What do you guys think of these trades? What would you do differently? Sound off in the comment section below. That's all for today, guys. Look for more trade proposals in the coming days. Thanks as always for checking out the channel and for all your support. I will see you guys on Wednesday following the Oilers and Penguins for the Fanatic Rundown. Have a great night, guys. Take care.